Hello and welcome again to another episode of Nerf News, your number one source for Nerf news on the net. I'm your host, Drac, and today we're talking about bunches of stuff. We got stuff and bunches to talk about. Okay, so we'll launch right into it with the things that I absolutely have to handle first right off the bat. So we've got some events in here, we've got some leaf blasters in here, we've got some good stuff, we've got some not so good stuff, and we will talk about each of it. Everything gets its 10 seconds of fame, its moment in the sun. So let's start with Ragnar Oktoberfest. So Ragnar Oktoberfest is a California event. It is like a big Nerf event, and right now it's got a lot of stuff going on, so let's talk about the deets first. So the deets are that it's happening this October 13th through this October 14th. It is an invitational of sorts, but it's not necessarily an HVZ, which makes it very interesting, very unique. Lets it kind of be its own flavor of thing. And it's pretty exciting, as you can see from this list. I will be in attendance. I've got a little hype video revved up here that nobody makes hype videos like old Bobololo, so we're gonna let him tag in for a second. But there's a few things going on. We've got the Stalking Dead, which is like a version of HVZ. Now it is HVZ. I'm not gonna say anything bad about the event because I haven't been there yet, but like HVZ tends to be awful. It tends to be really bad. For me, at least. Like, as somebody who runs around with a shiny red target on their back, HVZ is the pits. But I love playing zombie. It's been a long time, and the organizers for this event clearly have their heads on correct. And so I have high hopes for the Stalking Dead. There's also going to be running super stock games and 5v5 going constantly. Their 5v5 is not atomic style 5v5. It is not Ion Rush. Instead, it's like objective based, and it's kind of King of the Hill. King of the Hill is a weird name for it, though. It is my basic understanding that it's like territories from Destiny, which is very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to that, and I have got a killer team lined up for 5v5. I'm not going to tell you anything about my team right now, but we're taking it all home. Like, our team is stacked. So I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going, that I will be there. I'll be doing my usual meet and greet stuff. I do that if you find me at the grocery store, but I will absolutely be in this place at this time. That's Yerba Buena High School, October 13th through 14th. I will be in there around town. I'll be going to some cool parties, I'm sure, because that's how Nerfers do. But I'll be signing blasters. I'll be giving away some secret patches or pins or something. I haven't decided what my special swag for Ragnar Oktoberfest is. Happy to sign blasters, happy to take selfies. Always love meeting new Nerfers, and this will be my first time officially Nerfing on the West Coast. So, I mean, East Coast is the best coast, but it doesn't rhyme. But we'll give them a run for their money. We'll see how it goes. Again, I have the best team for the 5v5. Unfortunately, it is almost exclusively West Coast Nerfers, so I won't be able to prove it in that arena, but we'll get them in the super stocks. So that is Ragnar Oktoberfest. Again, nobody does hype videos like El Bobololo. Let's go!
October 13th and 14th. Prepare for fire.
Prepare.
For zombie. Prepare for the end. Prepare for
Ragnar
Oktoberfest. If you'd like to join the final battle, then ticket site and all information can be found in the description box below. Hope to see you there.
Alright, so all we need to say about the Ragnar Oktoberfest from that video that I forgot, and I'm glad that I let Bobo handle it, is that certain parts of the event are paid. It is a pay-to-play event. I know that you have to pay for the 5v5. I know that you're running out of time to save money. It gets more expensive as they get closer to the event. So it is a paid kind of invitational event, and I think that you pay for the 5v5 and something else. But other than that, I think that there are definitely things to do. Plus, it's just like a little pop-up Nerf mecca. It is very exciting if you're in that area. If you're already part of the well-established California Nerf, I'm sure you already know about it. But if you're looking for something exciting to do in your October, that's where I'm going to be at that point in time, and I would love to see you there. So, that is Ragnar Oktoberfest. Check it out, link in description box below, just like Bobo said, but this link's going to be in my description box, not in Bobo's description. I mean, I guess you could use either description box link, truth be told. So let's talk about blaster leaks, because we are 5 minutes in. That is a lot to talk about Ragnarok. All right, so blaster leaks are, we've got Entertainment Earth doing its usual thing where they, Entertainment Earth is a lot like Walmart, and they're not so good at keeping secrets, which makes me wonder why they still retail Hasbro blasters early when they do this literally every other time. I'm looking at you, Entertainment Earth. If you ever want some help in this arena, you guys actually already know me from Toy Fair. Hit your boy up, because you could use some help. Anyway, so, they do this thing where they add things to their website. They do a lot of pre-orders for things like figurines, statues, comic books, pop figures, blah, 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 blah. So I know why they do this. They just don't understand that this market doesn't exist for Nerf. And so instead what they wind up doing is leaking corporate secrets, which is hilarious. Because I'm sure that they signed the same NDA. But they've confirmed a few things for us. They've confirmed that, remember when I told you guys that the Chronos would be coming out in a 2-pack, red and blue? That's happening. Obviously, we've got more zombie survival kit stuff. I think that they've leaked, not leaked because it's already out, but the axe and such is out, and you can pick that up. They're talking about how that's going to have another wave. There's going to be some Star Wars micro shots, which just makes sense. When you can print micro shots and you're literally printing money, why not give Disney? Why not give Lucasfilm some of that money? So obviously, those are going to be ridiculously more expensive than even the regular micro shots, but I mean, here we have the Marvel ones because, again, if you can just print money for Disney, why not do it? So these are all things that are coming out. We know that they're real. Entertainment Earth has never leaked anything fake. If I was Hasbro, I would intentionally give them something fake so that they could leak it so that I could... You know what? I don't have a corporate-backed legal team. I'm going to stop talking. Anyway, you guys know that the Helios is going to come out in RVB colors, and then this is the interesting thing. You guys know about the Ruckus, don't you? Oh, you don't know about the Ruckus. Well, it was leaked on Entertainment Earth, but interestingly enough, if you go to the website address where it was leaked, right, it currently gives you this. It tells you, no deal, no dice, 404 error. It's like this call knows. They, like, know that I'm telling you guys secrets right now. It's hilarious. Anyway, you get this. You got Sheldon Cooper here saying no page found, and that is because they removed it from the website. But luckily, not before my boy here, Insane Jailbreak Z, made his video, which is essentially just a Nerf news video capturing it. And I'm so glad that he did, because this tells us something important. The Ruckus itself, not exciting. The Ruckus ICS-6 is an 8-dart clip blaster that indexes, which basically just tells us that it's going to be the worst parts of the Battle Scout in essentially another Battle Scout. It's not going to be particularly expensive. They've learned to stop strapping cameras to it. But what's interesting is not the Ruckus itself. What's interesting is that this video was made, a couple of Reddit posts were made, a couple of Facebook posts were made. The Nerf community talked about the Ruckus. And they caught me at a time where I was dealing with some Thunderdome stuff, so I had no interest in making a Nerf news video that night. But lickety-split, before you could tell that this Ruckus stuff was being happening, before any of, I guess, what the major channels did anything about it, we had it get taken down. So that tells me that Hasbro was like, yes, hello, Entertainment Earth, we are very upset that you've been leaking a bunch of stuff. We're not necessarily mad that you leaked all of this stuff, apparently, but the one that people are making posts on the internet about, you know, the internet, where people put our creative property and IP, we're not so happy. So they took it down. It's fun watching the internal machinations of these companies and how they retail and whatnot, because the better we understand them, the more influence we have over making and supporting better products so that we get more things like the Hades and the Infamous, and less things like recolors of blasters we don't necessarily want, or micro shots for intellectual property that I'm sure will sell well and make lots of money, but I'm going to collect them anyway, and I'll make a video about them, but they don't really change up our hobby at all, is I guess what I'm getting at. So there's that, and speaking of corporate machinations, did Hasbro notice that Fortnite was a big thing? Was Fortnite a big thing? Is it the #1 game on Twitch still? I'm bad at it, so what would I know? But as somebody who's worked with Epic, it does not surprise me at all that Hasbro jumped on that money train. They're feeding that greed monster, and they are making those Nerf Fortnite blasters. And the reason that I'm concerned and interested about this, like, I made Fortnite blasters. I love them. That's the space that I exist in. Making prop blasters is really cool. It is exciting that there will be better bases for people who want to run Nerf Backyard Battle Royale, or perhaps something even cooler somewhere else. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some stuff going on. There's some things we're dealing with, but the thing that's not great about this is that it's everything about the Star Wars blasters with less decoration. Are Fortnite blasters kind of cartoony? Yes, but kind of is the operative word there. In a very hostile climate already for toy blasters and our space, Hasbro decided to partner with a video game that literally has double-barreled shotguns and all black AR-15s with skulls painted on them. I'm not a doctor. I think that that's dicey. Like, they can feed the greed monster however they want to, but I'm steering clear of AR-15 Nerf blasters if I'm a company that puts things on mass market retail shelves. Now, maybe they do it the way that they've been doing it through GameStop, where they're special releases and they're Star Wars branded, and you don't put enough of them out there that you're ever going to have to deal with them on a mass market scale, but I still think it's dicey. Now, that said, like, there are a lot of cool Fortnite blasters out there. There's a lot of cool shells. It's a lot like the Overwatch IP. Like, I think that as long as you stick to colors that are very safe, and there are colors in that game that are very safe, it should be fine. And it will be cool because, like, Lord knows, we want to make more Fortnite. We want to make more Fortnite Nerf videos because they're really rewarding in the YouTube algorithm right now. But, anyway, Hasbro and Epic have gotten together. They're making a Monopoly board game because they'll make a Monopoly game about just about anything. But the Nerf blasters are what I'm interested in. I have no photos I can share with you guys right now about Fortnite Nerf blasters. I mean, we can hope that it's a bunch of goofy stuff and foam axes and all sorts of stuff, but I just think this one's a tread carefully, and especially for us who like to modify things and paint things and take them to another level. Like, do we already have worker kits to make any Strife into any real steel counterpart? Absolutely. But are we respectful of that? Absolutely. Is the kid who has a can of black spray paint going to do that with his AR-15 Fortnite Nerf gun? Who knows? But that's my 2 cents. I hope that you guys can take it with a grain of salt. There's nothing about that I know other than what I have shared with you. So I think that it's dicey. Weigh in the comment section below. Your opinion is very important to me, and that's kind of the purpose of this news segment. Other than that, I don't know why this tab is still up, but I'm working on it, guys. I know that my audio isn't amazing. This is a lav mic that I'm strongly considering. I'm also looking at a better Rode mic down here, but it's pretty fairly priced. It's tough to beat. Especially if it notably improves our content as we build out the second studio over here at Castle Drac. Plus, this one has a 20-foot cord, which is necessary for some of the content that I film. And then the only other things that I wanted to talk about are, I have 2 more things. Hang with me, guys. I know that we're 12 minutes in. What a Nerf News episode. I've been talking about these and shouting them out at the end of videos. Like, this is a Drac Chan shirt. My buddy EOC has gone in on a 3D, not a 3D printer, a fabric printer, and we're actually doing all of our merch in-house. So as opposed to like most creators, where when you support the creator, they get like $4 or $5 from the t-shirt, and then Teespring gets $7 or $10 or what have you. Like, for what I think is a very rare move, my company is actually producing its own merch. And by my company, I mean my best friend, EOC. He has this printer. He's handling this merch. We definitely need better t-shirt models. Like, it is unfortunate that all of these photos are me. The only thing worse than that is that this photo is no one. But we have the Drac shirt. We have the Nerf Chan shirt. We have the Project Nick shirt. And you can pick up an SE&C shirt. All of this stuff could be customized with your player name if that's something that you're about. I think that he's doing that through options. But obviously the website is very new. He just recently launched it, and he is excited to get that off the ground. But I will be doing all of my merch through this and at events for the near future. So probably going to bring a little bit of this stuff to Ragnar Oktoberfest. We'll see how it goes. But merch is now being handled at plastictreedesigns.com. If merch is something that you've been waiting for or are interested in, this is a great way to support the channel and support my buddy EOC. He is getting the lion's share of all of that money. I think that he's giving me like $1 or $2 a shirt. I'm totally okay with that because I just want to see his t-shirt printing business take off and be successful. But that's this, and then the only other thing that I want to talk about is that we talked about Ragnar Oktoberfest, which is a super exciting event coming up in a month. Let's also talk about this. This is Foam Fest, which is definitely taking a leaf out of FoamCon's book. They've already discussed that. I think that it's ridiculously respectful. I think that the rising tide raises all boats, and I'm super thrilled that across the pond they are trying their very own foam convention. The more nerfing events there are in the world, the better the hobby is for everybody. So Foam Fest will be happening March 9th, 2019 at DW Stadium in Wigan, UK. I don't know a lot about the geography of that. It is the UK's first nerfing convention. It is attached to a Foam Dart Stadium event. I recently went and did a Foam Dart Thunder event in a mall. It was like a terminal infection zombie pseudo HVZ event happening in a shutdown after hours mini mall. Like, it was just so cool. It was so radically different than anything we could ever do in the States. I was very, very just blown away by the cohesiveness of the event. The organizers of Foam Dart Thunder do an amazing job, and then it's also being put on by Monkeytron Collective, which is like probably the premier, I guess, blaster smith retailer hybrid space. We don't really have a name for what we do industry wise over in the UK, and that is a Scottish family run company that's just very near and dear to my heart. And they came to End War and they put up a tremendous showing. They played very hard, very well, took a bunch of footage, brought a bunch of kind of our ethos back home to them, and it is my hope that I am financially and free time wise in a place that come March 9th I can attend Foam Fest as well. I have not committed to it yet because there's nothing more tasteless than committing to an event and backing out for some sort of stupid reason, like being in China to do production runs or what have you. Like, I definitely, once I give them my word, I want to be on board, and I need more time to commit to that. But whether I can personally attend or not, I know that this event is going to be top, like absolutely legendary. So that is Foam Fest. It's another event that should be on your radar, particularly if you're already in the UK or close to it in Europe. Like, if End War is too far for you to fly for, I completely understand, but Foam Fest and Foam Dart Stadium might be a little bit more in your wheelhouse, so to speak. So that's all the news that I have for you today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this update on Nerf World. I tried to bundle it all into one concise package, but it wound up being the run of a full TV show cartoon at this point. So I'm not going to take up any more of your valuable time. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Nerf News. Much love. Nerf on Drek out. Do 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 do.